What's up, y'all? My name is David, and welcome to the Prep Station. It is the 1st of November, and that means it is Thanksgiving season. And I don't know about you, but I'm excited. This is one of the best times of year for a cook. The whole holiday season, Thanksgiving, followed by Christmas right behind it. So today, I just want to give some tips on how to plan your Thanksgiving dinner. I'm going to go ahead and switch over here. Let's see. Here we go. I actually did an article on this already on davidsprepstation.com. You can go there for more recipes, tips, tricks, all that good stuff. But it's basically four big tips I have for making your Thanksgiving dinner a better experience. And the first one is to make your menu and make it early. The next one is to make your shopping list right after you've made your menu. The third thing, and it's actually just three things on the list, is to prep everything you can before Thanksgiving itself. So, we're going to start off by talking about making your Thanksgiving menu. And to start with that, I'm actually going to pop up and bring my menu up that I'm doing. I've got it on my second monitor over here. And this year for Thanksgiving, this is pretty much our traditional menu. We do this most years at my house. We're going to have for our main courses turkey and ham. And it's just roast ham, roast turkey, chicken and dressing, turnip greens, mashed potatoes. Those are my personal three favorite sides. My dad, who comes to this to the Thanksgiving at my house, I also do have to do a second one later in the day. I go to my mother's house where a lot of my other family meets up. But my dad comes to the one at my house, and he usually brings lima beans and fried potatoes. We'll also have cranberry sauce, rolls, turkey gravy, of course, for the sides. For dessert, this year I believe we're going to do apple pie, pecan pie, and sweet potato pie. Apple pie is something super traditional we always do. Pecan pie was something my dad actually requested this year. We used to have it all the time when I was a kid, but we haven't done it in recent years. But he was jonesing for one, so we're going to try that. And my wife wants to do sweet potato pie. So that's my menu. I know my mother's going to have a lot of the same. She's going to have a lot of the same stuff. Turkey and ham, mashed potatoes, I'm sure. Somebody will bring a chicken and dressing or just a dressing. She'll have different than mine. She'll have macaroni and cheese, squash casserole, sweet potato casserole. And for desserts, she's probably going to have chocolate pie, hummingbird cake, and caramel pie. And just some other ideas to throw in there. You can do corn on the cob. You can do green bean casserole. There's other greens you can do in places. We do turnip greens. You can do collard greens, mustard greens, or you can even do cabbage. Tons of other stuff. And don't be afraid of kind of going off script here. You don't have to do the traditional turkey or ham if that's not your preference. If that's not what your people like. Like my brother, he doesn't really like turkey. So my mom, usually he goes to her Thanksgiving, and she usually does something a little different for him at least. Whether it's chicken and rice or chicken and dumplings is a real good dish. And chicken and dumplings you can actually do as a side as well. It's super popular at Southern Thanksgivings. But you can do a pot roast dinner. I have a great recipe right here on the channel for Mississippi pot roast. Something a little different, really good. I think you'll really enjoy it. If you want to go high dollar, you can go with something like a rib roast. That's something we usually do at Christmas time at my mother's house. Delicious, but it is a little pricey. And I mean, you can go wild. You can do seafood Thanksgiving. You can do Italian food. Whatever. Tailor your menu towards your audience. That's the key thing. This is your gathering. This is your family, your friends. You all want to have a great time. You want to have a great, memorable meal. So make sure it's something everybody likes and everybody is going to enjoy. So once you have your menu down, the next thing to do is to make your shopping list. And I've actually already done an article that gives tips on how to make a grocery list, and all that applies here as well. But the main thing I want to point out is getting a grocery app. Excuse me for a second. Anyway, get a grocery app. I use one called Our Groceries, and I've been using it for years now. It's a really good app. You just punch in your items. They show up on the app, and then when you're shopping, you've got it open. You just click on it, just press it, and it goes off the list. And the good thing about it too is that you can make different lists for different occasions. You can have your general shopping list, you can have a Thanksgiving list, so your items aren't crossed over. And the reason making a shopping list early, I would say as soon as you come up with your menu, is because you can start to buy things out ahead of time and not have to spend a fortune all at once to make this massive meal. And it's also good because certain items, the closer you get to the holiday, will start to run low in grocery stores. I live in a town of about 13,000 people. We have 3 or 4 grocery stores, but on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving or even Thanksgiving morning, sometimes they will be out of flour, out of cornmeal, out of greens. So you don't want to wait to the last minute if you can help it. Whatever you can get now, you start getting. I would say as soon as the calendar turns to November 1st, I've done told my wife, we need to stock up on flour, on cornmeal. There's some things obviously you can't get till closer to time. You don't want to buy greens now; they'll go bad. But flour, cornmeal, cranberry sauce, the popular items that are going to be in demand, get them out of the way now. And turkey, if you are doing a turkey for Thanksgiving, now's this time to start looking because they're usually frozen, and so they'll last till Thanksgiving in the freezer. We've already, my wife was looking on Sunday when she went shopping, and they were about $1 a pound, and I'm fairly certain sometime between now and Thanksgiving they're going to go on sale. They'll probably be closer to 50 cents a pound. They grocery stores almost always do promotions on turkeys, selling them for super cheap because they want to get you into the store to get all the other stuff, which won't be on sale. It's just a huge driver for them of business. So we didn't pick one up yet, but we'll be looking as soon as they go on sale at a decent price. We're going to scoop one up now, get it in the freezer, and we'll be ready to go. Ham, that's another one. If you buy it frozen, you can get that ahead of time. As soon as you see a good deal, scoop one up. Okay, prep. Let's talk about Thanksgiving prep. Cooking a huge meal for 10, 12 people, whatever your gathering size is going to be, that's something's kind of out of the ordinary for most people. If you've worked at a restaurant before, if you've been a cook, it's not a big deal. You're used to cooking for tons of people. You've got the organizational skills to take care of that. But for most people who just cook a family dinner for 3 or 4 people on most nights, this is a big change and it can be tough. So this is something cooks know. The better your prep, the better your service, the better your dinner will be. So whatever you can do the day before is always going to be a huge benefit to you on the day of. For example, my chicken and dressing, I always cook it the day before, throw it in the refrigerator, and then on Thanksgiving, all I have to do is stick it in the oven and warm it up. Because dressing for me, and I will have that recipe on the website in the coming days, it's like a 3-step process. You have to cook your cornbread base. You have to boil your chicken to get your broth and your meat. And then you have to mix those 2 things together into the dressing and then bake it again. So there's a lot of things going on there that I don't want to deal with on Thanksgiving Day when I've got a turkey in the oven. I'm trying to get mashed potatoes done. I got greens on the stove for a couple of hours. So those types of things can be done. Another thing, so speaking of greens, you can prep those the day before. They can be washed and chopped so they're ready to go. All you got to do is put them in the pot with their extra ingredients and get them cooking, because that is very time consuming and you want to be pretty meticulous cleaning your greens. I've made that mistake before where we rushed cleaning them and you end up with some gritty, sandy greens, and it's not very pleasant, even though they tasted good. So if you're doing greens, definitely prep them the day before. Have them ready to cook. That is the last thing you want to be doing on Thanksgiving Day. Your turkey, that's another one. And that prep actually starts a few days before Thanksgiving, because depending on the size of your turkey, it might need to defrost for a couple of days. I can't remember the exact number, but it's something like 1 day for every 5 pounds, if I'm not mistaken. So, if you've got a big bird, you got a 20-pound turkey because you're feeding 10 or 12 people, you need like 3 or 4 days just to defrost that dude in the fridge. And that's the thing. Give yourself the time to defrost in the fridge. I know a lot of people leave it in the sink and overnight and this and that. That's generally frowned upon. You're not supposed to leave food at room temperature to defrost. It's the temperature danger zone is what it's called, between about 40 and 140 degrees. You're letting bacteria spread. Last thing you want to do is make your whole family sick for Thanksgiving. So give yourself the time to defrost it in the refrigerator. And like I said, I'll double check on that, but I want to say it's something around one day for every 5 pounds. So you get it defrosted a few days before. Then the day before Thanksgiving, the Wednesday before, I always take my turkey out, clean the inside out, get the gizzards and the turkey necks out of there, and then I get it in the roasting pan and get it all covered and all set up. If I'm putting stuffing in it, I stuff it. It's ready to go that night. And on Thanksgiving morning, because we eat our Thanksgiving at my house very early, 11, 12 o'clock, because we have another one to go to later. So I have it ready. When I get up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, all I got to do is go to preheat the oven, go to the refrigerator, slide it in the oven. Done. That's the way you want to do it. It's going to make your morning a lot easier. After that, you can enjoy a cup of coffee until it's time to cook everything else. So doing all this prep. So if you've got your greens cut, you've got your turkey prepped, you got your dressing done the day before, Thanksgiving Day is going to be a breeze. So that will go a long way toward making the process better. Some other ideas, some other tips. Thanksgiving's all about family and tradition and gathering. So don't be afraid to outsource some of the work. If somebody, ask your guests, hey, anybody got anything they, traditional or, that they do really well that they want to bring to the dinner, people in general love to cook for other people. They love to share their prized dishes. So more times than not, you will find somebody that is excited to bring something. And that's less work for you to do as the host. You can focus on your turkey, focus on your ham, whatever your main dishes are. Focus on your main, traditional dishes that you cook. And on top of that, anybody that comes, that can't bring something, maybe they just want to help in your kitchen. That's great. You should always be accepting of help in the kitchen. It's always a huge, huge bonus that if somebody's willing to come in there and, help with this or that. So take that help. It will ease your burden and you will enjoy the day more. And, if you don't, everybody doesn't love to cook, I know. But if you do, just make sure you savor this experience. This is, like I said, this is the most wonderful time of the year for cooks. This is time where your skills get to shine, and if you love to cook, this is your Super Bowl. So don't let the stress overwhelm you. Just try to enjoy it, savor the moment, enjoy the great meal. And I hope these tips help you out a little bit. And if they do, don't forget to hit the like button and please subscribe to the channel. Like I said, this month I'm going to have a lot more videos on different Thanksgiving tips and recipes. So check back for more and I will see you guys in the next one.